We're back, people, and today we're bringing on film on Brandon Pili, Miami Dolphins defensive tackle. And I actually think he looks way better going into his second season. Like, his preseason was much stronger this time around. Last year, his rookie season as a UDFA, I thought he showed a lot of potential. Number 96, going to be playing mostly like one tech and nose tackle. I think, he showed the promise, but there was a lot of inconsistency last season with his play. This year, he was much more consistent, and there's really a lot of things to like with his skill set. Love his hustle and motor. Like, this guy flies around the field, very willing, high effort motor guy. So love that out of him. And then I think, he just showed like better awareness, more comfortability versus the run, like holding up at the point of attack. I feel like his play strength is better. And then like the unique part of his skill set is like, for being like a one tech type of player, he's explosive. Like, his movement skills are really, really good. Like, he can get after the quarterback. He can get downhill. He doesn't just have to hold up in like two gap at the point of attack. He can one gap and just get down and beat guys with quickness versus the run too. And then he also has some power to like really put these people on the ground, show off that play strength. And he just moves really, really well. And then obviously I think taking on some double teams is something he can still work on, but it definitely showed improvement from year 1 to year 2. So really like that from Pili. Here's the first, this sack that he had in this preseason. Really good work on like this stunt, just continuing to get after it and just bully this offensive lineman into the lap of the quarterback, and he gets the sack because he's the crash guy. They're trying to loop this around. He crashes down onto 60, gets onto 61, and look at him just catch this guy off balance, use that strength. He's kind of falling over, but dives and is still able to get there. Like, he like makes some plays, like shows some great body control, even when he's like falling over balance. Like, you can see how much control he has of his body. It's really, really impressive. Like, the athletic traits that he can have as a one tech. Usually don't see many one techs moving like this. And to me, like, he's your backup to Benito Jones at that position. He's going to be a part of the rotation. He's going to see some snaps. If you look at the Ravens in the past, they had a 5-man rotation at defensive tackle. We have 5 players on the team. Pili is going to be one of them. It's not going to be a ton of snaps, but like, he's going to definitely see some playing time this year, which is fun. And, I feel pretty good whether, he's first the run or pass. I think, he showed better play, and he might be one of the guys I think that surprises people going this time around, because that improvement that he's shown is really, really good, and definitely makes me feel better about him as a prospect. Here we get to see him versus the run, get down laterally, show off this lateral quickness. Great feel for this guy trying to chop block him. This guy wants to, cut him off. He's playing as a one tech here. Backside of this run, able to, keep him clean. Great balance to stay on his feet here. Get over the top of him too. Like, that's really good, like, agility, and then gets down laterally and makes a play, and is able to keep up with the running back. Very, very impressive. Lateral range, just good feel, instincts, awareness, that type of thing, and just all of the athletic traits that you're able to see on that play. Here we got him on the backside of a run of again. This time he's playing as like a 2, almost a 3 technique on the backside of this run. Gets control of the guard at the point of attack. Really good leverage. Look at how he extends his hands, his hips. He's able to drive this guy back a little bit. They're trying to get the double team going on him. And when you have a guy you're trying to get doubled, you really want to focus on one. You really want to square up one of them. And since this guy's on the backside of him, he understands, like, hey, if this guy's going to push me, I just got to stay on my feet and not fall down, because he's kind of pushing me into the play. Keeps that momentum up. Still able to, like, bully this right guard. Like, look at the hand placement. He's, like, lifting him up. And he's still able to track, get down, and then help make the tackle basically around the line of scrimmage on a play that, he was on the backside of. Just great lateral range. Good job sticking with it. Good, run discipline, run fit stuff. That's really impressive from Pili. This one is just insane hustle. Like, he doesn't, get a stat here, but this is a screen. He's trying to get you with some speed to power. He loses his balance, so he's falling off balance here. Like, most guys are going to fall in this situation. He stays on his feet, instantly recovers. His hands, he's like out of control, like almost looks like he's trying to swim, and then, but he still stays on his feet and tries to chase down this running back who doesn't. If the running back got slowed down at all, he probably would have caught him, but like, he had just had a clean lane, and he's still able to work all the way down. Literally is touching him as he's hitting the ground from the safety there. Like, that's just great hustle, and you can just see the insane athleticism on this play. So lots of traits to work with when it comes to Pili. You can see why they wanted to keep him around. As a second year UDFA, he made the roster last year, but ended up getting cut mid-year and then going to the practice squad, and definitely has improved a ton since then, because he didn't really see any playing time at all last year. But he just looks better, stronger at the point of attack versus the run. This is a big thing I think, right here, he's a 3 technique. Dolphins are in 2-eye 3 technique. This is going to be something you're going to see a lot, so he'll have to play as a 3 and a 2-eye, which I feel more comfortable with him here. But here, taking on a double team, he does a good job isolating the guard. Like I was saying, you want to square up one of the guys. Doesn't get moved a ton. Like, the guy attacks a low hip. He's able to now get in control of this gap, but doesn't get moved a whole ton. Now here's his primary gap. Once this running back, like, he's in control of it, once this running back's going to clear out, he's now going to try to scrape back over the top and then help make the tackle on this side in the B gap. So just really good job playing like a gap and a half technique there from Pili, beating a double team and just being very disciplined versus the run. I think this is something he was definitely better at, because I think sometimes, I think technique-wise, he would try to play over-aggressive in these situations, take himself out of it, or just, get over the top. I think his balance is improved, but that's just really good job holding up at the point of attack. Here we got him in the final preseason game versus the Buccaneers. He made plays in all 3 of them. That's why I got plays from all 3 games. Here he just, recognized the screen. Good job. Good feel for this. Awareness. I feel like he's probably the first guy to really feel it on the play side. Hustle, get down, help make a tackle on Chris Godwin, the receiver, because this is a receiver screen. Pretty impressive to get out there. So hustle, effort, athleticism, awareness, all those things kind of showing up on this play again, and he's actually able to get involved. Not as crazy as the other one where he didn't get the tackle because he was chasing that guy all the way down the field. But you can just see the potential there. Here we just see some speed to power. Like, he actually doesn't have the cleanest rep here. They're sliding to the right, so I think he's expecting to like engage with the center. The center doesn't engage with him. Then he gets caught on the left guard. So his body is kind of just thrown into the left guard here. So he doesn't really have any push, no hands on the guy. Now, like, his hands are wide, but now he's able to get his hands inside, but he's not really able to extend. You really want, like, on speed to power to be able to extend. But the fact that he's able to really gain momentum while not, like, he really had no momentum, but, like, no momentum going into this play because of how it started. But the fact he's still able to push this left guard late into this rep, into the face of the quarterback, is pretty impressive. So I think if he was, like, prepared for the left guard at the start of this, like, he would have pushed him in the quarterback's way, like, instantly. But since, like, he's able to get that leverage, now pick this guy up, power him back, you can just see some play strength and power there on that type of situation. Here's a thing where you get to see off some of the athleticism. This play's a little bit laggy, but here, boom, get off the ball, hit that club, and then he's going to use an arm over, and just basically you're trying to, like, gap replace here. He's lined up as like a 1 tech here, 2-eye type of player. Club, swim, arm over. He throws this guy to the ground, so love that. So he takes that offensive lineman out of the play. Even though he doesn't get a tackle here, he takes that O-lineman out of the play. Now 72 has to focus on him. This is all, all over the place. It leaves Tyndall unblocked now because that guy gets thrown to the ground from that. Using his own leverage against him, he blows up this gap, forces 7 to make a cut, and allows everyone to kind of rally to it. So Pili really is the one who initially made this play by taking one alignment out of the play. Good movement skills, get lateral, make one guy fall to the ground, make another guy forced to block you, and just leave people unblocked to rally to the ball. That's pretty impressive. Here's another rep where Pili gets after the quarterback. Love having some interior pressure. The Dolphins are going to need this from some of their backups, guys that can potentially get after the quarterback. It's not going to be a super consistent thing, but just need that from time to time. Here they're able to get after him at the edge, but he gets a one-on-one with this left guard. The center tries to get over the top and find 38 on the blitz, which is interesting. So it leaves Pili all this space to work with the inside. He gets engaged. Now, I love this. He just like a pretty much stack and shed, push and pull type move. He's won a lot with like speed to power or just winning with athleticism. Here he gets engaged with him. Boom. Creates that space, push. Now pull, shed him apart, throw him down, and then now you're trying to rip past him, get after the quarterback, show some, fluidity there. He's able to get there when the edges do and the blitzing safety, because the blitzing safety, like, basically comes in untouched. Like, 38 barely gets hit there, so he basically is coming in untouched. And we also have Tyndall basically, winning very quickly without being touched. And Pili working his move from the interior is basically gets there just right after them. So that's pretty impressive work from Pili. Here's just another example of speed to power. Love that he's able to win with this. This is something you got to be able to do as a defensive lineman. This has to be in your bag. If you don't have speed to power to, like, create a push in the pocket, like, this is the way you're going to win most of the time. You got to have other moves, obviously, in your bag. But with how limited space you have on the interior, you have to have a speed to power. And obviously, that can just, whether you get the sack, pressure, QB hit or not, if you were able to create that movement in the pocket, it just makes it way more uncomfortable for them to step up and should give your chances for edges to hit the quarterback with a, the quarterback not be able to move up in the pocket. So that's very, very important. He's able to really create that space, push that center basically into the throwing lane of the quarterback, and that's like was on the game-winning play where on 4th down versus Washington that the ball was overthrown and the receiver didn't make the play. So pretty impressive work. Here Pili gets off the ball. This was the first play, I think, of the preseason where Grayson Murphy, like the first defensive snap, he like won on the inside. But look at Pili also, because Murphy makes this play. Look how Pili just pushes the center back into this play. Like he resets that line of scrimmage. If 20, like imagine if Murphy set the edge here instead of, winning the inside, it would have forced 28, bounce it back, and Pili would have been there to exactly make the play because he bullies 56, throws him to the ground, resets that line of scrimmage. Love the energy that he can play with. Here's the explosiveness. This is a screenplay. They leave him unblocked, but just look how quickly he can get off the ball and get to the quarterback. Like, he's faster than everyone. Like, this is Gallimore, who's also a very linear, explosive player. We got Chop Robinson off the edge. Obviously, he's off the edge, so he has a longer path to get there. But these are explosive players who are trying to get after the quarterback as fast as they can, and Pili gets there so fast. And the screen's going to the other side. Maybe you want to see him recognize the screen quicker, but with how fast he was getting after the quarterback, I actually prefer him at this point to just continue it, especially because the screen was going to the opposite play of the side of the field. Here you get to see him versus a double team. This is where he can kind of struggle. If they like get both sides of him and like he's in the middle of the double team, he doesn't square one of them up. He gets pushed back a little bit here. But at least when doing this, he kind of leaves his linebacker clean and is still able to kind of late recover. Like for him kind of losing this rep, losing some ground there, like that's going to happen versus some double teams. For him to like regain that rep, get on the center instead of the right guard, and then throw the center off late to then, help rally everyone get there. Like the guy gains like 4 or 5 yards on the play, so it's not like a perfect rep there, but there's definitely positives to take away from this all over with Pili. There was very little negative reps from him. There were some reps that were just like neutral, like I wouldn't really count it as a win or a loss. That's how you can kind of grade offensive lineman, defensive lineman. You give them like a plus negative grade on each snap or a neutral grade, because that just is, the nature of football. Sometimes it's a neutral just depending on the play. Like there's not too much to really grade when it comes to certain positions. So, but if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.